tell you, this is a lot harder than it used to be. Almost there. Did it with great effort. This used to be called the Eagle's Nest. Call it Wrangell Peak now in honor of my brother-in-law Greg Wrangell, who taught me how to hunt. He used to take me up here all the time, man, when I was a teenager. Walked up here countless times. A lot of bucks taken out of this canyon. Wow. Lasting for about 4 hours now. About 2 o'clock mid-afternoon. And right below me, a natural little funnel where the deer come up out of that bottom to cross this over. So I'm gonna sit tight here. Tell you, coming down this is harder than my legs than going up it. So this morning when I got here, there's a truck parked in the place I want to hunt. It's the Monday of the last week of the season, and I haven't been able to get out. This has been a horrible year for me. So after I pass the truck, I'm going to head to the other side of the BLM. And man, sure enough, right after I spotted those at Doe and 2 fawns, these 2 bucks side hill in the canyon quickly. They got out of there. Small bucks, nothing real big. I couldn't get video of it. I marked it on my Onyx map where I seen them, and I'm going to take a look later. It's in an area I've never hiked into. The morning's still young. I still got some hiking to do, so we'll see what happens. You all right? Anybody in there? Oh, doesn't look like anybody's in here. Somebody's having a bad day. Snuck up on that little fawn. Lots of does and fawns today. those 2 bucks, but didn't have a chance to have it all. That's for another day. So one of the viewers of the channel was on the side of the road, Oscar Vargas, and he was looking at a little buck, and I seen him just for a split second as he went over the edge of a finger, and I think I'm gonna come after him in the morning. Got about an hour and a half. Let's go kill a buck. So far, nothing. I couldn't get all the way to the top because the wind was bad this morning. So I kind of been hunkered down here. And the wind's finally died off. But now I'm just making my way up to this knoll up here. And I'm gonna set up for the rest of the morning up there and take a stand. No bucks yet. But it was about 10:30, 11 o'clock yesterday when I spotted the buck with that guy Oscar. So, I'm not expecting him any minute, but I do expect to see him today. Alright, so I'm gonna get up here. Good deer trail. Alright, so I got all set up behind this oak. I got this fallen branches, some pretty good cover. Now I want to be able to glass this creek bed down here. Come up out of that creek bed and then they'll come up here. And they'll bed back in here. There's some good solid trails. There's some good trails that lead back into there. Now I still have a chance that something can come out of this draw. I'll come through the saddle and I'll get a shot. Or if I see a buck moving up out of this creek, I can figure out which way he's going to come up. And maybe if I have to, I'll go up and around and catch him on another finger. If I could just, just spot him before he comes up here. But if not, if I'm quiet and I still and I don't videotape a lot, my wind's pretty good right now. So anything could happen. From yesterday, and this is above the area where he was at. I'm still convinced he's somewhere around here. I just haven't seen him yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move up to that point up there. It's noontime right now, and I know there's water down in that creek a little bit, but there's also a water source down over couple fingers over. So I'm gonna go up to the top. And go around back towards that other water source and down. Maybe he's back here somewhere bedded in one of these fingers. And hopefully I can spot him before he spots me. Or anything else for that matter, so I'm gonna take it really slow. Talk a little bit about my A-zone archery season so far. You know, I went up a few days before the opener up to Mendocino. I planned on hunting 7 days, and I got up there and my van started leaking oil really bad. Nearest town was Stony Fort, which is an hour and 15 miles away. It kind of ruined my hunt. I didn't hunt opening day there. I wanted to get the van back down and figure out the problem. Before I left, I had my camp set up, and this bear come up over the ridgeline, and the wind wasn't right, so I knew he didn't smell me. And we seen each other about the same time. He was on a knoll, just because I was camped out in a little I was camped down in a little saddle. And boy, he came down, and I heard a crack. I looked over, and he looked at me. It's just the biggest black bear I've ever seen. Had to be a 500-pounder. He was red in face, big old male, pumpkin head. Had the red still come, some of it's kind of long, went halfway down his body. The under of the bear and his paws were all black. It was a sight to behold. It was beautiful. I wish I could have got it on videotape. And he took off running through that underbrush, just smashing that underbrush with his big old chest like he wasn't even there. His big old comical hind, big old rump bouncing. I was shocked. And what was crazy is he came out at 40 yards. He moved so fast that if he wanted me, I had some bear spray on the table. I wouldn't have been able to get to this bear spray. He would have had me. He would have had me down. This bear, swear to God, had to have been 3 times bigger than I am. Just a big California black bear. And he took off running. And so I spent the night that night, and I came back the next day. And we're working out the details on my van. And so open morning, I went up around Lake Berryessa to where my nephew, Mike Davis, we went up there, and he shot that buck. When I went up higher, I got up to the top, because I haven't made that climb since I was in my 20s. I'm like, 54 now or something like that. And it felt good being able to get up to the top. I'm not the hiker that I used to be, but I could still get it done. Got up there, I didn't see anything. But because I didn't do any preseason scouting this year, it's been a total fail so far. It's like there's the 3 P's. You have to be prepared, you have to be persistent, and you have to be patient. Usually I start my preseason scouting in March during turkey season. I get up there and I use turkey as an excuse to go look for deer. Because in March, usually the deer, they're just starting to grow their horns. So you figure out what the bucks are doing. Usually they'll form bachelor groups, and they're easy to spot preseason before the season starts. Because the velvet, they don't want to be in the brush, so you can usually catch them out in the open. And that's usually, not all the time, because you could push with pressure, you could push even velvet bucks into the brush. But the last 2 seasons, I was prepared. I had my preseason scouting done. But today, I'm down on myself. It's a lesson, and I just wasn't prepared. It's plain and simple. You know, don't expect that you're going to go into an area that you hunt and that the deer are still going to be in the same place they were the year before. You have to figure out where those bucks are, especially when you're bow hunting. Because where I'm hunting at in Knoxville and Cache Creek, you have to ambush those deer. You can't, it's too noisy to put stalks on them. You got to learn where other hunters are going, the trails that they use, and how they would possibly put game into your position, how you can put yourself in a position to have somebody push deer to you. That's a major thing that you got to learn when you hunt public land. It gets hot. There's ticks, there's rattlesnakes. It's a really rough hunt. I've not gotten a deer with a bow yet. This is my 3rd season. I'm trying. I want to get it done. If I don't get it done this weekend, it's my fault. My fault. If I don't get on a buck, I blame myself. I'm not blaming there. I know there's deer in the canyon. I know there's deer in Knoxville, Cache Creek. I know there is. Okay, there's bucks to be had. But you have to get in there ahead of time before all the pressure comes. You got to figure out where they're at. You got to figure out their escape routes, and it takes a lot of time. I didn't put the time in this year, and if it doesn't happen, I blame myself. It's a challenge this year, so my only option is just to put miles on my feet, get up to the very top of the canyon I'm hunting, and figure it out from there. You know, sometimes that's just what you got to do, but I'm telling you, being prepared, first lesson, you have to prepare yourself for hunting season. And that includes preseason scouting. But it's the closing weekend. I'm still optimistic. I'm still going to be persistent. I got to be patient. I can't charge in. I just got to get up and do what I can and be slow, because that's all you can do. You just got to pick it out. You got to figure it out and get it done. And hopefully we'll get it done this weekend. You're not going to be able to see it, but that's a little fork and horn right there. So I'm stopped where, and I'm going to see what he's going to do. I'm just going to sit tight right here. Got a buck. I've been walking through this creek bed because it's quieter. The wind's bad though. He hasn't seen me yet. I can't put a dang fork on him. I gotta get closer. The wind's just hitting my back right now, but you should smell me. I could have him at 43 yards. Good broadside shot. But he just doesn't have a fork on him. Up on his top left. It's kind of weird and bladed. Okay. The wind switched on me. It's bad. I'm heading back up this creek now. I want to find a place up here to take a stand. Sit for a little while. Hopefully something else comes along. I'm thinking that buck was the buck I seen yesterday on the other side of that meadow. I had no play on it. I thought he had forks. But I think it's the same deer. That's going to be a dangerous buck this year. For somebody who's a little too excited on opening day. I hope that spike survives, but his horns give him away. Like, he just looks like he has a fork, but he doesn't. Yeah, 43 yards broadside. I would have took the shot if he would have had a fork. That's all right, though. Last evening, trying to get it done at the last minute. My spirits are definitely high seeing that. Come on, let's go. Well, that's a wrap for another A-Zone archery season. Just wasn't prepared this year. I didn't get my preseason scouting done, but one bonus is that I got on that buck today, a buck that I'd seen yesterday that I thought was legal. Relocated him today in the same area after reviewing the footage. He's the same buck. I'm pretty sure of it. But I got up on him to 42, 43 yards before he spotted me, and I could have got a shot off if he had a fork, but he didn't. So, but I just feel good about being able to get up on him like that. It breathes life into me for the next time, and I'm looking forward to going up to Mendocino. I'm gonna put a hunt together up there at a place I've been to a couple years ago, and I'd seen some bucks up there. And I'm also gonna do a trip up to D3. There's a couple campgrounds I want to stay at, and I'm going to hunt the area, so I'll be doing some campground reviews. You'll see my hunt, and then also I'm going to hopefully do a little bit of trout fishing while I'm up there, and maybe I could make a video out of that too. So I got videos on the way, and I'm looking forward to the next hunt, that's for sure. Gonna have to wait a couple weeks, but the hunt continues. We'll see you next time. California Public Land Hunter. See ya.